Swami has given us that statement. He said, look, out of all the madness in the world, God madness is the best. It's okay. From 1994, when I went to Puttaparthi, that was the first time I visited Puttaparthi. I was very skeptical at that time. I see this man with orange robe walking in, and what impressed me was he's making vibhuti and then he's giving. So I will borrow your phrase that you used. I was a doubting Thomas. I said, come on, this cannot be true. But then within a year, by the time I go there next time, my belief was sealed. So when two scientists from Iceland, when they visited Sai Baba and said, hey, can we take you somewhere for a controlled experiment? So Swami said, what do you have on your finger? They said, oh, well, this is my wedding ring. Swami said, give it to me. So this gentleman removed and gave it to him. So Swami blew in front of him. This is his ring, right? He blew in front of him and the ring changed. Ring changed into a very big ring with a big stone and say, here, this is your controlled experiment. You go study.
A doubting Thomas no more. Mahendran Naidu is a Sai Baba devotee to whom we owe much. He was one of only two people who stepped forward to make thousands of free DVD copies of Souljourns interviews to be sent to anyone interested, years before we began posting these Sai Baba devotee interviews on the internet. His selfless service helped to launch Souljourns many years ago, and now we interview him. Welcome to Souljourns. This interview was recorded in Louisville, Kentucky in November 2018.
Who is he? Yes. Oh, so Sai Baba, for me, it's very easy. For me, he is God. He is the creator. He is the sustainer of the universe. It's very easy for me to accept because I understand the concept of divinity. I'm not an atheist or anything. We were very well into the religion and spirituality. So when all I needed to know was that is he really an avatar? So that message I learned through devotees. So I was not always smiling.
Oh, you were?
No. From 1994, when I went to Puttaparthi, that was the first time I visited Puttaparthi. That's because a group in Singapore was visiting Puttaparthi. So I joined them. I was very skeptical at that time. I go there and then I go and see what is going on. There was no Kulwant Hall. It was in the sand, hot sand, that we were all sitting down. And I see this man with orange robe walking in. And to me, as an Indian, he's like another saint.
Sure.
So it's not a big deal.
He's the
so
fourth one I've seen today. Yeah.
Yes, I'm very happy to see saints. So he walks in, and what impressed me was he's making vibhuti and then he's giving. So I will borrow your phrase that you used. I was a doubting Thomas. I said, come on, this cannot be true. I believe he's a saint, but how can you make something from thin air?
Yeah.
It's just not possible. But then within a year, by the time I go there next time, my belief was sealed because I heard from devotees what Sai Baba has materialized. So when two scientists from Iceland, when they visited Sai Baba and said, hey, can we take you somewhere for a controlled experiment? I don't know if you're aware of that conversation.
Vaguely, so repeat the story.
So there were two scientists from Iceland who visited Puttaparthi because they heard about this person with divine abilities. So they wanted to find out if it is true. There must be science. They believed science and spirituality are the same. So they wanted to do something. So they were not skeptical or anything. They wanted to prove something. So they came and met with Swami. Swami gave them interviews and they said, Swami, would you be willing to let us experiment on you? We need a controlled experiment. We need to know how you do all these things. So Swami said, what do you have on your finger? They said, oh, well, this is my wedding ring. And he had a very simple wedding ring, I'm thinking, because I forgot the actual details, some band or something. Or it could be something with a stone. Whatever it was, Swami said, give it to me. So this gentleman removed and gave it to him. So Swami blew in front of him. This is his ring, right? He blew in front of him and the ring changed. Ring changed into a very big ring with a big stone and say, here, this is your controlled experiment. You go study.
Oh, that's a great story.
And so, yeah, Swami has done so much. And we hear this through the videos that you have made. Many times, and imagine videos like Seema.
Sure.
She is at a different plane.
Oh, definitely.
Right? And so you need to graduate.
You're almost at that plane yourself.
No, not really. But we graduate. We can understand.
Yeah.
We can understand.
You can appreciate the plane.
We can appreciate, exactly. We can appreciate what is going on. So back to your question, how is it, where does all these things come from? I didn't tie the second thing. Yeah. First thing comes from the family, why we are always happy and we want to do things. Second thing, Swami, at least from 100 different people in satsangs and in your interviews, I have heard that when people go to Swami and say, Swami, you have given us so much. What can we do for you? And Swami says what? Be happy.
Be happy. That's right.
That's all.
It's like, no, give me something to do, Swami.
Yeah, no, be happy. Because what is important there, Ted, is that by being happy, you are helping Swami.
You are.
Because there is one miserable soul less he needs to worry about.
Maybe I misunderstood you. Didn't you say from Singapore you weren't always that way?
No, I wasn't. I was always grumpy and unhappy, even though my parents did give us everything.
Grumpy?
They took care. Yes. And I would say the change happened and the sustainment of this spirit, I would say, is because of Swami. So the message you gave today, for example, the viewers should know you did speak and we are interviewing in Louisville. In your speech, you mentioned about that, equanimity.
Equanimity, yes.
Equanimity. So you have to be there, and it is very hard because the words Swami has given us a lot. He gave us CIA, constant integrated awareness,
which is wonderful.
You have to use that, like you have to always be aware. And I'm going to use the idea that you gave, where even if we are sitting in the office for 8 hours, maybe every hour, I may not be able to take a break every 30 minutes like you are, maybe every hour, we'll put an alarm and then do the 11-second meditation.
Yeah.
Because
at least you're thinking of Baba.
Yes.
At least
it's... Yes. It breaks the monotony.
There's no heavy lifting there.
There's no heavy lifting.
You hear the alarm, you turn it off, you think of Baba for 11 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's all you need. Because it is hard. It is hard to be silent for 11 seconds.
Well, it's hard.
We're not even talking about minutes, I'm sorry, 11 seconds.
Yeah, we're talking seconds
11 seconds. And it's so difficult sitting idle for 11 seconds because our brain is so active. It's very hyper.
It amazes me increasingly every year of my life how active the brain is.
Yes.
It's like a relentless machine that doesn't know how to stop itself. It's on overdrive, spitting out empty ideas often.
Empty ideas. So that is
just
why
distract you.
Correct. And that's why Swami has given us that statement. He said, look, out of all the madness in the world, God madness is the best. It's okay. And you mentioned that
in
a
different... Be
addicted
to God.
Yes, you mentioned about out of all addiction, I approve God addiction.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
And so God madness is okay. So now, yes, your mind is spitting out a lot. So let that always be associated with God in some shape or form.
Yeah. The man before you talked about Underachievers Anonymous, something I've never heard of before. There's many smart people, women and men, many credentialed with good educations, who cannot find a rightful place in the job market, to take advantage of their gifts.
Yes.
And they can get so depressed.
Yes.
And so he said, I wonder why I said yes to this interview, to allow you to interview me. I don't know what I'm going to say to you that's going to be of value. And I said, well, let's see. And he brought it up, and I said, bingo.
Because that is fundamental need to be happy. Because if you look at what even Christ did 2,000 years ago, he didn't catch all the people and say, hey, I have something to talk to you. Come sit. I'm going to give you a lecture. No, he first gave them bread and fish. But what do you do to a hungry man? So same thing, if I am underpaid, underachieving, and I am not stable in my mind, I'm not ready to receive spirituality. So now when people do see, Ted, that, oh, there are problems, I'm going back to your equanimity quote, people do say, hey, there's so much problem, how do you survive? We don't see the problems. Not all, I mean, not all that we don't see.
Yeah.
The major things that people are able to see, we don't see it.
Yeah.
Because we don't see that as a problem.
Right.
We feel that, oh, that's just opportunity.
It's just opportunity.
That doesn't mean we have graduated. Again, always we have to be careful. Because, there may be, Swami can always put you through a test. And that test will reveal your flaws.
I bet he's even put you through a couple of tests.
Yes, it happens all the time. All the time. But you know what gives me confidence?
What's that?
And not get depressed is because Swami said, I don't care even if you fail 1,000 times.
I don't care
if you fail 1,000 times.
What's the next part?
You get up and then go towards God. So the journey towards God, you can fail 1,000 times. It doesn't matter.
But if you get up and draw one step closer.
One step closer.
Think how many thousands of steps you draw closer to God.
And he has a direct quote, which I will send it to you.
Yeah.
You can fail 1,000 times. So that gives you confidence. Why? Because for the new spiritual seekers, they may fail 10 times and say, oh my God, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not there yet. So no, you are there. Everybody's there. It's like one of your own interviews with someone you made. I forgot who it was. Did you interview Wayne Dyer one time?
I interviewed Wayne Dyer twice, yeah.
Now remember what Wayne said? I think it was his quote. I remember. What he said was, we are not, human beings trying to go through a spiritual experience.
The other way around.
We are spiritual beings on a human experience.
Yeah, you put it so well.
Right? He did that.
He knew I saw his growth. I first became aware of him when I worked at the TV station in Cleveland that made him popular. He lived in Detroit, and he would bring down to Cleveland for the morning exchange program at this TV. His books, he had them in his trunk.
He had many books.
Yeah,
yes.
he just a 3-hour drive, and he'd talk about his books. And I saw how humble he became, how egoless he became, how close to Baba he became.
Yes.
Baba was there on his cupboard, on his table, vanity table.
And I have heard of him, and I have read all his books and tapes.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, maybe he knows Baba.
Yeah.
And then through your interview, I came to know he knew Baba.
When he died, Baba was on the wall. The photo of Baba was on the wall where he died. Yeah. Let's close it up on this note. What's Mahendran have to say that might be uplifting to somebody else that we haven't talked about so far?
Well, the only thing is always remember that the good times are there. It is in your control.
Yeah.
It's in your control. So the foundation is important. Don't build your plans or things without a foundation. So the foundation is spirituality. So now if you are a Christian, then don't put church as one meal in a plate.
Yeah.
Church is the plate.
Yeah, it's the main event.
And then you put everything in there to fit in.
Yeah.
If you're a Sai devotee, a Sai Center is not one portion in your plate. Oh my God, I have so many things to do. And I also have to do Sai Center. No, Sai Center is the plate.
Yeah.
You fit everything in there.
And you do it with joy.
Yes, you do it with joy. And when you do that, then you are always going to be in a high spirits.
Yeah.
Because you know that, hey, I am a spiritual being. I'm doing something here.
Yeah.
I'm here for something. Like your own questions. Who am I?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? What's
Why
my
am I
purpose?
here?
Why am I here?
What's it all about?
So your questions are answered. You're here.
They are answered.
Yes.
It's taken me 70 years to get them answered.
Yes.
But they're answered.
Exactly.
I don't ask them anymore.
Exactly. So that will keep people going if they can keep asking those questions.
Well, we just did 20 minutes, Mahendran.
All right.
Mahendran, thank you very much.
You.
It's such a pleasure. And a belated thank you for those thousands of DVD copies
problem.
you made for me.
Yeah, actually, thank you.
No.
Because that's an opportunity. See, I have learned all these things through the DVDs that
And now
we
what
made.
gives me great joy is that people around the world are going to learn new lessons from
Yes.
you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Sai Ram,
so much.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.